Welcome back to my cigar exploration channel. It is a damp, kind of dark, dreary day here today, but I have three things I wanted to share with you. We are going to explore this stick today. This is a Monogramme. It is the Connecticut. This is a very interesting cigar. I did not buy this cigar. This cigar was handed to me at an Eagles tailgate. I don't know the exact size from handling a bunch of cigars. This seems like a 6x50 Toro to me. It's really pretty. Let's check out the cigar band. It says it's by Jay and Ahmed. It's got a really nice band on it. And then, of course, as I showed you, it's got the foot band that says Connecticut. The reason I don't know anything about this stick is because it is exclusive to a cigar lounge in my area called Smokies. And I haven't ever been in Smokies before because they do not serve alcohol. And I like to obviously have a whiskey with my cigar. So I'm gonna go check them out, see what other monograms they have. It also, on their Instagram page, said that they have another exclusive line, and that would be the Bella Fortune cigars. So Monogramme cigars and Bella Fortune cigars, these are, this is a Dominican stick. So I don't know anything about it. Even on their website, even on Smokies' website, all it does is show one of these cigars and says that they're exclusive to the lounge, but doesn't talk about them. So I have no idea about price. I can't necessarily confirm the size here. I just think it's a 6x50 Toro. So it smells great. It smells like cedar and sweet tobacco. I've also got a new cutter, as you can imagine. We just got through the holidays. So I'm pretty easy to buy for, being that I am really into cigars and whiskey. So this is a straight cutter, but this is one of those nice ones. I'm sure this was pretty expensive. So it looks like this out of the package. Then it's spring loaded. I have not even cut one cigar with it yet. I've been waiting to do a video to show you guys. So let's get this cut. Now, because this is not a Perfecto cutter, I have to be careful not to cut it too deep. So I'm gonna try and show you guys here what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to just nip the tip of this guy off here. Wow, that's nice. Holy smokes. Yeah, this thing, it's heavy. I like the design of it. It feels pretty solid. Just said it's spring loaded, so it stays closed until you unspring it. Just gonna put that back in its package there. Show you guys this cut. Looks pretty good. Looks like when I use my Perfecto, I think I did all right. Definitely not too deep. I've also got a whiskey pairing today to go with this, but let's get this thing toasted up. See what we got, what we're working with here. Cold draw. Wide open draw. Feels pretty good. It's a Connecticut, so you can imagine this is going to be on the lighter side. The wrapper, the leaf, is really smooth and feels pretty luxurious. I don't think this is going to be an inexpensive cigar, but I don't think this is going to be a super high-end cigar. This might be along the lines of a $10 stick, something like that. All right, we're going to get it toasted up. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about the whiskey pairing today too. Something different, something I've never had, something a little unique. A whiskey that I cannot get in the state I live in, of Pennsylvania. It was actually picked up by my cousin Jen, who is the greatest chick ever and my favorite cousin. She was in New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Liquor Commission. They have a state-run store in New Hampshire, and she picked up this whiskey for me that I'm going to show you guys in just a minute here. Oh, wow. Yeah, really smooth. Really smooth. Nice and light. Nice light stick. Kind of what I was looking for today. So I've been saving this. I got handed this stick like 2 weeks ago, and I've been saving it to make a video. I was trying to research it, just couldn't find anything about it. I said it is a Dominican stick, it says that. I'm not a social media guy besides this. I don't do Facebook or Instagram, but when you Google this, it comes up on their Instagram page, and it directs you to that lounge. That's Smokies Lounge in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's really creamy. It's got really good tobacco flavor. It's really light. Hardly any spice at all. I'm getting a little bit of that sort of peanut dust on it as well, but nothing. I mean, this would be definitely for people that prefer lighter sticks. Again, I don't know how you'd get your hands on one unless you went to that lounge or got lucky and somebody just handed you one at a tailgate, which was pretty cool. Wow, this thing's really smoking. Good draw, good creamy smoke coming off of it. All right, so let's get into this whiskey I've got today. This is a bourbon whiskey. It's the BARMEN 1887. This is a limited release, 92 proof, so 46% alcohol by volume. This is interesting. I'm gonna take this off here and then show it to you. This is a very interesting creation. This is a blended whiskey, and it's made by the Coors Brewing Company. So the same guys that make the beer make this. And this just first came out last year in 2023. The most interesting thing about it is that they want you to drink it with their beer, with their Coors banquet beer, which I think is really strange. But there is people who do, shots and drink beer with it, and, all kinds of different things. And you can, again, drink and smoke however you want. So if you like to drink beer with your whiskey, and knock yourself out. So get this plastic cellophane off the top. Okay. Yeah, so it's 1873, and the reason for that is because that's the year that Coors was started. So when this came out in 2023, it was the 150th anniversary of Coors. And so they commemorated it in part with this. So it's a pretty bottle. It's a blended whiskey. It is a Kentucky. You can see they blend it in Bardstown, Kentucky. They don't distill it. They're sourcing this whiskey, and then they don't even give you any kind of breakdown on the mash bill. It just says from grain and malt. So about $40 in that New Hampshire liquor store that my sweet, wonderful cousin went to and got me this bottle at. You get some in a glass here. Let's do a cork pull. Pretty good cork pull. Not too bad at all. And a good glug glug. Nice. Okay. Yeah, pretty label on this thing too. All right. Oh, it just smells like vanilla and caramel. It smells like a typical bourbon. I don't expect it to blow my mind or anything like that. I expect it to be pretty average. Could be wrong. It might be awesome. I hope it is, but I just expect it to be about a $40 bottle of bourbon. Wow. This is a great cigar for people that like a good draw, because it's wide open. Not too wide open. Excuse me. You get some resistance, but not much. See a ton of smoke. Real creamy, dark colored smoke too. There it is. Look up. You see they want you to pair it with their beer, which again I think is kind of strange, but to each their own. couldn't really get a story out of this thing either. I think it's just a money grab. I was thinking maybe this was like a kid, some kid of, the Coors family who was into whiskey and bourbon and wanted to have sort of a little project for himself or herself, but I can't really, it just seems like they're just looking to get into the bourbon game. Yeah, but pretty cool. I mean, something different anyway. So I had never seen this anywhere or heard of it. Obviously never had it. All right, let's try it. Okay, so yeah, pretty standard stuff here. Real sweet. If you like sweet bourbon, this is on the sweet end of it. The proof isn't overwhelming at 92. Great caramel. It's a caramel butterscotch, probably more butterscotch bomb in your mouth, in a good way. Really drinkable. I don't see anything wrong with that. I guess if I was going to pick on it a little bit, I'd pick on the price, but I mean, it's $40. I mean, that's not really that bad nowadays. I wish I knew what the mash bill was, and I wish it was distilled by them, but, wish in one hand and you know what in the other. Wow, this thing is smoking. Such a good way. I have so many draw problems with cigars recently that when I get one like this, it's so great. It's almost surprises me. So I did, after my cousin picked that bottle up for me, I went on to the NHLC, which is the New Hampshire Liquor Commission, on their website, since I wanted to check them out because they're a state-run. Wow, this is good. Tastes like a little coffee there, too. I got a little coffee. Because they're a state-run liquor store like my state. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I've been trashing my state-run liquor store. Maybe they're all run similar, I go on, type it in, Google. A website pops up right away. Right away on the front of the website, they have locations and the types of liquors that are going to be dropping on specific dates, as well as, if you scroll down a little, it shows what items are on sale. Already, that website takes my state's website and beats it up, beats it to death, and lets it die in a corner. You have to literally scroll on my website, on my Pennsylvania website, through every single whiskey to find out which ones are on sale on the website. I don't see why this is difficult to make a website that's customer friendly and not like you're going to the DMV. It just makes me want to move out of my state. I'm not going to go on a whole rant here, but just check out the Fine Wine and Good Spirits website, this is Pennsylvania's, versus the New Hampshire Liquor Commission's website, and look at the two of them and tell me if I'm crazy or not. Because their website, our Pennsylvania website, is trash. And this New Hampshire website was just great. I mean, they're showing bottles of Blanton's and all kinds of stuff that's hard to get, and what stores they're going to be at. They're giving the locations of the specific stores and the date that they're going to be there. You can't beat that. That is what every bourbon hunter is looking for. At least you have a stake in the game then. At least you can go fight with the crowd or get there earlier, stand in line, or whatever it's worth it to you, as opposed to literally having no clue what's going on when you go shop for booze. I'll show you guys this cork. It's just a plastic cork, but it's got a good pull. Again, none of this stuff really means anything. I just like to show you. So, yeah, it's just an amazing contradiction, or compared to the two websites, it's just fascinating. So, this thing one more time. I want you to scan the QR code. I don't hang on to stuff like this. I just kept it to show you guys. I'm gonna throw that away. I'll also throw this packaging for that cutter away. I just like to show stuff like that. I think it's interesting. Getting like a little bit of the Coors beer. I'm just kidding. I'm not getting any beer or anything in there. No, it's good. It's a good blended 92 proof whiskey. Gun to my head, it's worth $40. Look at that smoke. Wow. So creamy. The ash is like really gray and brown. There it is. It's a shame I can't find any information about this cigar. Maybe this really is exclusive to that Smokies Lounge over in off of Lancaster Avenue in Reading, Pennsylvania. Or maybe it's just an exclusive regional thing where maybe somebody in California has one of these in their hand right now watching this video going, I got one of those. What are you talking about? But just from my research, it seems like this cigar is exclusive to that lounge. And also, I'm not 100% sure because I've never been there, but it doesn't seem as though that lounge serves alcohol. I don't want to seem like a big alcoholic on this channel, but I do like to have some whiskey when I smoke a cigar. So I'm going to gravitate towards lounges that have liquor, basically, spirits. So doing a lot of talking, but 15 minutes in on this stick, and I mean we're only an inch down. The ash is sort of falling off, like it's snowing a little bit, but it doesn't bother me. Wow, this thing is good and is performing well. Feels pretty premium. Not quite as good as some other things that I've smoked, but pretty close. I'd say this is between $9 and $12 if I had to take a guess. Probably like $10 would be what I'd say. Yeah, you can retro this thing all day. Literally, there's no pepper in this at all. Not even a touch of it. So, as usual, I'm curious when we get down to the last third if there will be any pepper, because so far it's pretty good. Just started raining a little bit, of course. I dipped out here earlier, got set up for this video. There was no wind, no rain. I thought, okay, let's do this. It's in the 40s. Like I've mentioned in all my other videos recently how hard it is to get out to make videos like this now. All right, I'm gonna ash this since it's just falling off anyway. All right. Yeah, this cutter, I just noticed this too when I was showing you the box. It says it's an S cut. I don't know what that means exactly. I'm sure it's the type of cutter. You know, you see their straight cut, and it tells you the ring gauge up to 66. Has a 2-year warranty, which doesn't surprise me. It feels like $1 million. I bet you that was a $50 cutter, which again, it was a gift. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen this brand. I never heard of them, but the cutter feels really premium. Like you could tell, you know, it's got the four bolts there holding it together. You know, it says stainless on the back. So yeah, so it's pretty decent. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to cutting 1 million cigars with that. Hopefully that thing lasts me forever. No reason to get another one. I'll probably lose it before I need another one. Yeah, this thing's nice. I wish I would have got handed more than one. You know how it is. Some of you know how it is. You know, when you're sort of standing around I was actually smoking a cigar at the time it happened too. And guy just broke out his cigar case and was just like, does anybody want a cigar? And I said, no. I said, I have one. I said, and he was like, you don't want one to try one of these? You know, he must have known that they're exclusive to that lounge, or that I couldn't get them. And he's like, have you ever had one? I was like, no. I was like, what is that? And I was looking at it, and he's like, here, take it. It's good. You'll like it. It's a nice light smoke. And I was like, all right, thanks. And then just put it in my pocket. And I was like, oh, I'm trying to make a video and share this with you guys. You know, because I'm sure even if it isn't just exclusive to this lounge over here, you know, it's probably pretty exclusive as far as its availability. Yeah, the cigar like makes you want to retro and makes you want to blow smoke rings and play with the smoke because it's so thick and creamy. Wow, that was a really weird retro there. Almost got like a red fruit or something there, almost like a red gummy candy or something. It could be the bourbon speaking to me too, telling me to drink more. I don't know, but that was a pretty weird retro. Not weird in a bad way either. Weird in a good way. Yeah, this stuff's pretty good. I'm looking forward to it's getting some air in it, seeing what that does to it. Hopefully it doesn't make it worse, because right now it's actually pretty good. So yeah, if that was distilled in Colorado, which I don't know where it was distilled, I just know it was produced and bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky. But if that was distilled or produced or bottled or any of that stuff in Colorado, you wouldn't be seeing it on this channel. I've decided to kind of, I may mention this too in other videos, but I've decided to just sort of stay in a certain lane when it comes to whiskey. You're only going to see Kentucky and Tennessee whiskey on this channel. There's so much that I'll never run out of stuff. So that's not really like me taking a stand or putting my foot down. I just don't want to drink whiskey from Pennsylvania, or whiskey from Ohio, or whiskey from Colorado, or whiskey from New York or California, which I am sort of cutting, you know, off my nose to spite my face, in a way, because Sagamore Spirits in Maryland is killing it right now. I've seen some stuff from Bourbon Bill from them that I would have to break my rule for, I guess, but I'm never going to get it. It's real exclusive stuff anyway. You know, stuff that's like whiskey that's been aged in cognac barrels and, you know, whatever. Crazy stuff that, you know, they release such small amounts, and it's only in Maryland, and you got to be there or know somebody or whatever. And there's just so much stuff that comes out of Kentucky and Tennessee and that seems to be what I really prefer. I've gotten kind of burned on some stuff that's from other states. Excuse me, I tried some stuff from Pennsylvania. Not on this channel, but tried some stuff in person from Pennsylvania. Just not a real big fan. Dad's Hat is a Pennsylvania rye, and they're killing it. But I just frankly really don't have time to mess around with a wider region than that. So in 2025, I'm planning to get to Kentucky and maybe Tennessee as well, but definitely Kentucky. I've never been to any of those distillers, any of those big distilleries like you know, Buffalo Trace, Woodford Reserve, you know, stuff like that. Places that are really famous for their distillery tours and things like that as well. So looking forward to doing that. I mean, if I retroed one of those Gurkhas like that, I'd be choking right now. You can really retro this thing. got a little bit of like rubber there as well. This cigar is just keeps switching lanes on me here, but I like it. There was some coffee again there. That rubber might be the coffee, me being confused on the flavors. Whatever that red sweet candy-ishness I got is not there. But I am getting that coffee, which is like a coffee bean. Like if you put a raw coffee bean in your mouth, and that you can imagine what that flavor would be. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, I don't know who Jay and Ahmed are. For all I know, they own that cigar lounge over there. It could be the two people that started it. I have no idea. Maybe they're just the two that created the cigar in the Dominican for the owner of that lounge. Or if I can follow up, if I can get more information for you guys, I'll let you know. I'm gonna visit the lounge one of these days when I'm around that area, and maybe it's the middle of the day and I'm not interested in really drinking at that point in the day. Even though even when I'm not interested in drinking, I still usually just have a whiskey with my cigar, kind of like I do on these videos. But go at least over there and take a look around, maybe just purchase a cigar or two, and not smoke it there and just bring it back here with the information and smoke it here with a whiskey pairing. Because when you look this cigar up, though, like I said, there was a Instagram post or something. It shows like 5 or 6 different blends or different wrappers, leaves on these things. So I'm sure they have different stuff. I saw a barber pole one. I've never smoked a barber pole cigar. If you've smoked a barber pole cigar, let me know in the comments what you think. If you got different flavor profiles out of it, if you could even tell, and let me know what you guys are drinking and what you guys are smoking. Leave me comments. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm planning on still putting out content. It's just a little more difficult nowadays. And thank you to all of you who are subscribed and who do comment on my videos. If you comment and it's something I think, you're looking for a reply to, I usually reply. I try to. I read every comment for sure. It's not that many that I can't read them all. It doesn't take that long to scroll through the comments and read them, so. And if you ever had this BARMEN bourbon, blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, let me know, because I think it's pretty good. I'm definitely not disappointed in it, that's for sure. Yeah, somebody left me a comment and they said about, don't retro too much, and I think some people are under the impression that when you retro that you're showing off or something, like just because you can do it. Maybe some other people can't. It's definitely not why I'm retroing. I retro for the extra flavor and the way the smoke, it goes into your nasal cavity is really rewarding if it's a good cigar and you're getting the notes and the flavors that you really want out of it. It's really nice. Yeah, when I retro, I get that coffee and that weirdness, and now that weirdness came back a little bit. That weird red. It's the best way I can describe it is like a weird, like a little fruit candy or some kind. I don't inhale cigars, so I guess I wouldn't do this anyway, but I don't know how to French inhale. Where you it comes out of your mouth and goes up in your nose and you inhale it into your lungs. I can't do that. But I wouldn't do it anyway because I don't want to inhale. But at the same time, I'm not showing off. There's things I can't do as well. Yeah, I am not disappointed. I know I say that a lot on this channel. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I say it, lately it feels like it's been about 50-50. I smoked a Gurkha yesterday, and it was a G5. And it was so disappointing because it had such great flavors. It tastes like chocolate. The wrapper was dark and oily. I thought about making a video, but I had a lot going on. I've said this before too. These videos are not as easy and quick to make as they might look, but I just thought I'm just going to enjoy myself. I had some whiskey. I'm just going to smoke this G5. It was a Churchill, so it was a big stick. I had planned on smoking half of it and then smoking the other half later. It was chocolatey and oily and so yummy, the flavors of it, but it just wouldn't draw right. And I found myself just chewing on the head end, your mouth, the end you put in your mouth, and to loosen it, to break it up. And then the leaf starts coming off of it a little bit. It's disappointing to me. And maybe I'm in the minority here. Maybe this is something that everybody deals with all the time. And I'm just being a big baby. And this is something that part of the cigar world, being so new as I am, I know I've been making videos on here for months now, but at the same time, I'm pretty new to the game. I mean, I talk to guys that have been smoking cigars for 20, 30, 40 years, some guys that I sit and smoke cigars with at the lounges I frequent. So to be doing this for a few months is not I don't know nothing, Like I said, I just like it, and I like to interact with you, my viewers and subscribers, and just give you some information on these products so that you could maybe make an informative decision. Do I want to try it? Do I not want to try it? That's what I'm here for. We're exploring. And I'm going to be exploring for a long time because you do not turn pro quick. I can tell you that. In addition to my breath, you can tell by the glass how cold it is. The glass is literally fogging up. It's not shivering, shaking cold out here, but it's chilly. Now it's raining, which doesn't help. This is pretty light looking. It's pretty light in color. I've seen lighter stuff. No age statement, no mash bill. Again, I'm a lot of what I say sounds like I'm complaining sometimes, but it's not really a complaint. It's just sort of giving you some information. It says honored heritage, inspiring legacy. I'm guessing that's just really all just Coors. They're just talking about Coors. It literally, Coors Whiskey Company. That's the, and it just says blended and bottled by Coors Whiskey Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. I feel like that was a good move on their part. I feel like it was a good move to take Coors and move them out of Colorado. Now, I don't know. For all I know, they could be in Kentucky making Coors beer too. I don't know about beer. But if it's not, that was a good move, getting out of Colorado and going into Kentucky. Because Kentucky just has that legacy of whiskey where, I'll try any whiskey that's from Kentucky or Tennessee, but I'll try any whiskey from there. And be excited to try it as well. Not just, okay, that's all you got. I'll be excited if I get to try something like that. That calm draw was really nice just now. Really tasty. The smoke is so thick and creamy. Wow. Well, hey, Jay and Ahmed, you guys did a great job with this stick, with this Connecticut. I would buy these and smoke them, I think these are really good. Or at least this blend is really good. Got good flavor. Sometimes Connecticut's are a little bland. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. You've ran into that. you know, sometimes they just don't have a lot of flavor. They're just so mild. This one's giving you different stuff. It sort of comes in and comes out, and it's pretty neat the way it's flavored. It's not a flavored cigar, but the way the flavors I'm getting, you know, and it's got a great draw, which is one of the things that I'm always worried about, as I just mentioned. You know, and it's weird too, because that Gurkha wasn't any tighter than this. I mean, look, there's barely any spring. Hold on this thing. When I squeeze it, I'm squeezing pretty hard. That's how the Gurkha was up in here, but yet you can't draw until you bite it and crack, and you hear cracking inside the stick, like you're breaking stuff in there. And you know, when I smoke one of my Quorums, my $2 Quorums, I don't get upset when the draw is tight. I'm not happy, but I'm not upset, because I'm like, okay, this is a $2 cigar. You know, it's not a very premium cigar, so it's not expected, or I'm not happy, but I can deal with it. You know, I can deal with it, and I've never had to do this, but if I had to chuck one of those, I wouldn't be devastated. I would just be annoyed. If I had to chuck one of these, or one of those Gurkhas, or one of those other, you know, any cigar that I paid $10 for, or that was a $10 cigar, if I had to throw it because I couldn't draw it, I'd be pissed. Yeah, that is good. All right. For anybody still here, sticking around till the end, I'm going to show the cigar band in case you got to go, in case you don't want to stay till the end, but you want to see the cigar band off the cigar. I didn't really show the foot band. I had a little trouble getting it off there, but here's the foot band. You just see it's just pretty plain. Just says Connecticut. But which was good for me, because I didn't know what it was. I would have just guessed it was a Connecticut by the color of the wrapper, the leaf. But and then here's the main cigar band. You see that, by Jay and Ahmed, Monogramme cigars. And the inside's just plain. I mentioned it, but it's a Dominican stick, so I guess I'm gonna keep this just for my records. You know, keep the bands for my records, just in case. You know, getting a little old here. I don't remember everything anymore. Okay. So I'd say, I mean, we may only be halfway through this thing. And for my sake, I'm glad, because I don't want this to be over. I'm sure that lounge has other beverages available. Maybe they have like a coffee bar or something, or maybe I could take some coffee in there, drink some coffee in there while I smoke a stick. I really hate to go to a cigar lounge and not smoke a stick at the lounge. That's kind of dumb. If I'm going to buy cigars, I'm going to buy them online, or I'm going to buy them at... Even when I go to Cigars International, though, I still smoke a stick while I'm there. Have an old-fashioned or whiskey or something. Yeah, if you like playing with smoke, this one's for you. You get lots of smoke to play with. Yeah, it's burning pretty even. Not really any issues with that. You know, it's not perfect, but that doesn't bother me at all. If it doesn't canoe or boat, whatever word you like, it doesn't bother me. This might be slightly bigger than a 50 gauge. My guess was this was a 6x50 Toro, but this might be a 52 or 54. It's pretty big around. It's at least as big as that Churchill I smoked yesterday, and that Churchill was like a 50. So the Churchill I smoked yesterday, I think, was a 7.5 by 50. You know, if you find yourself, you know, I know they have the. Actually, I don't know because I think it said they were sold out. The Gurkhas confuse me. I go to look for Gurkhas, and it says they're sold out, and then somebody will message me and say they're not sold out. I'm obviously not trying to give you guys misinformation, or keep this stuff for myself. You know, people don't make videos about stuff that they don't want to share. But I don't know if those G5s are available anymore, or if they're an old cigar. Like I said, I've been getting those Gurkhas at a nice discounted price. So, but if you can get that G5 and you're willing to risk the draw issues, it was a beautiful tasting chocolate cigar. Like the dark chocolate in that thing, and it was such a pretty looking cigar as well. Yeah, the burn line's pretty even. You can see it's just a little up on that one spot there, right up there. But it's, I mean, there's nothing to complain about. It was also a free cigar, which is always nice. I made a video on my channel about the, of course, every time I think of something, it pops in and out of my head, about the Crowns. No, not Crowns. That's another type of cigar. Shoot, I can't remember the name of it now. Go watch all my videos, and then you'll find it. Now, it was a pretty recent video where a cigar rep handed me a cigar that was really good, and that was also a free cigar. And that was a pretty expensive cigar. From what I could see, that was like a $16 cigar that he gave me. So it's always nice when you get a free one. Yeah, I'm not sure I want this whiskey to change. Maybe I'll just drink the whole bottle. I don't have to worry about it. It's even cold. You know, being out here in this 40-degree weather, it's even cold, and it's a fresh bottle, and it really is pretty good. So yeah, so I'm gonna circle back around and just say $40. If you can find that for $40, I'd say pick it up. If you're into blended stuff, you know, because they're sourcing it and blending it themselves, I'd say go for it. If that's your budget, if you have $40 for a bottle. Good flavors. Hope everybody's holidays going well or went well, depending on what you celebrate. My family celebrates Christmas, so we are just a couple days away from New Year's right now, New Year's Eve. My Christmas was great with my family. Everybody was pretty healthy, which is always important. You know, nobody was really sick and didn't really miss anything. I got to see people that I don't see very often, which was nice. Everybody's very generous. They give each other nice gifts, not necessarily expensive gifts, but nice gifts. So hope the same happened with you, or is happening, depending on what your family or what you celebrate. I do like the holidays. I'm more of a summer guy, but I do like when the holidays come up. I'm a big Thanksgiving guy. I like Thanksgiving a lot. I mentioned that in a video around Thanksgiving. A little piece of that cap came off, like usual. It's not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing. See there? You can see, I can actually see where it peeled off. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just do what I don't do very often, but I'm going to go ahead and get some more of this whiskey. See if I can finish this stick before I get wet. I don't know if you can see in the video, but I'm getting rained on. Cork pull's great on this thing. I like that it's called, I don't know why it's called BARMEN, but I like that it has the 1873 and has a little story. That's always a plus for me. I like stuff like that. I like that it's 150th anniversary of, you know, somebody's great-great-great-grandfather or whatever that, you know, started the Coors Brewing Company. I mean, Coors is freaking huge. They're probably, if not the biggest beer company in the world, one of the biggest. I'd say top 5 easy. Excuse me. If you never had a Coors, I used to drink beer. And that Coors Banquet beer is pretty good. It's very light. You know, if you're into like IPAs and, you know, stouts and stuff, that's not for you. But if you're into, you know, not light beer, but, you know, medium beer, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, like a Budweiser style, that Coors Banquet beer is pretty good. Wow. Getting some cherry now on that. Maybe that was where I was getting that red fruit from the cigar. It may have just been a residual from the bourbon, being that I'm getting that now on the bourbon. Yeah, I kind of got it a little bit more there. So I think it is just the bourbon coming through with some red fruit in there, which is pretty common. You'll get like some like apple, or, you know, not apple like sweet apple, like the skin of a red apple, or, you know, some plum, something like that, like a ripe plum. Plums might be purple, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. It's just like kind of a red candy sweetness flavor. Get 45 minutes into this stick. This thing is a treat. Getting down to the last third, absolutely no spiciness at all. Not even slightly on my tongue. Nothing. My mouth, throat, nothing. On the retro. So if you, again, I don't know how hard this cigar is to get, but absolutely no spice. If you hate spice in your cigars, you can get this one. I mean, I'm fortunate where I live that there is, I mean, Cigars International is in Hamburg, which is about 40 minutes from me. But just where I live, you know, you've got this Smokies lounge that I've been talking about that I didn't ever visit. But then you've got Legacy in West Reading, which I've talked about quite a bit. And then Suburban, which is my new favorite local spot that's just right down the road from me. You know, so that's 3 lounges right in my neck of the woods. And then, you know, not counting Cigars International and, you know, whatever other places are around here that I'm not aware of, because there probably is another 1 or 2, at least as far as, you know, traveling within an hour of where I live. Yeah, just keep waiting for that spice to creep in, and it just doesn't. It just isn't spicy. There's just no pepper in this cigar at all. Yeah, I mean, the only thing maybe is a little is the ash on there, which I'm sure 99 out of 100 people don't care how tight the ash is on the cigar. I mean, it might matter if you're smoking it while you're driving, or, you know, again, if you're trying to have a longest ash competition, but it doesn't really mean anything to me. It's just a kind of another criteria, just like the burn line. Doesn't really mean anything to me either. For me, it's just flavor and draw. You know, does this thing taste good? Is it giving me something unique, or at least something I can enjoy? And then, am I getting a good draw? Is it drawing good? Which it is. It's great. It's drawing perfect. It's not very viscous. It does have some lines, but not much. I'm just trying to find something I don't like about this, but I really can't. Yeah, it's just really good. Both these things are just really good. This is really pair well together too. You can see the ashes sort of just like raining down on it, off of it. But again, I just don't really care about that. What do you guys do for New Year's? Do you party? Do you stay home? What do you do? I usually stay home, but this year I got invited 2 places, to two house parties. I guess they are house parties, is what you call them. So I'm probably gonna go to both. I feel like when someone invites you like that, unless you really have a good excuse not to go, or I can't imagine somebody you don't like would invite you, but both people that invited me I really like, and looking forward to hanging out with them on New Year's Eve. I did have a rib roast, like a standing rib roast that I was gonna make on New Year's Eve, but I'm just gonna make it the day before now. I just like cooking, and I like making stuff like that for a holiday. So I will just make it the day before. No big deal. Heading back down to the Eagles game tomorrow. They play the Cowboys at home in Philly, and maybe I'll get handed another cigar like this. You never know. Everybody's really generous, and as long as you're an Eagles fan, you will get treated nice at those tailgates. I did hand some cigars out as well. I handed out a couple of Vegas Big Fives because I had a box of 10. Handed a couple of those out, as well as some Quorums while I was there. A lot of guys kind of want to be part of the cigar crowd, so they don't care. And I told everybody, like, here's a $2 cigar. Here's a Quorum. I love them. If you don't like it, don't smoke it. The 2 guys I gave Quorums to, both of them smoked them and said they really liked them. These are guys that don't usually smoke cigars. Both cigars I gave out were shade-grown cigars, shade-grown Quorums. But I don't really think that matters. Sun-grown ones are good too. I just didn't have any Maduros, or I would have offered those as well. But people liked them. And then I smoked a Vegas Big Five and gave the one away. And the guy I gave it to is a cigar smoker. That's why I gave him kind of the more premium one. He lit it. I saw him smoke an inch of it, and he left. So I haven't talked to him. He's not like a close friend or anything. He's just an acquaintance. I might see him tomorrow, and then I can ask him what he thought of that Vegas Big Five. I think they're hit or miss. I like that Vegas Series A I smoked a lot. That was chocolate. It was a chocolate bomb. But the Vegas Big Fives, I didn't have the best experience with that. I don't know that I'll go back to those. I think if I was going to buy a 5 Vegas, it's going to be the Series A, or maybe I'll try something else. Yeah, this is I haven't had too many sticks that gave me that much smoke. And still were really pleasurable like this. Like that 5 Vegas Big 5 did give me a lot of smoke. It had a wide open draw, but it was almost too wide open. And being a 60 gauge, I don't know that you want it that wide open. I'd prefer it that way though, as opposed to a closed draw. So I guess I'm complaining about nothing. Yeah, this stuff. Of course, it's something I can't get local. Maybe my cousin will be nice again next time I see her, and she'll bring me another one if I really, really like it that much. Yeah, I'm sad this thing's almost gone. I did get that Gurkha going yesterday. It just wasn't as nice. You know, I had to beat it up to get it to smoke the way it should. I'd smoke another one of them to try it. I don't have any more of the G5, but I am going to smoke another Gurkha on this channel soon. So if you are a Gurkha fan, check that out. I'll be coming out soon with another video on those. I made a video on the Nub Cameroon, and the one guy commented that the Habano's his favorite, or I don't know if it's a guy. A person in the comments commented that that the Habano's their favorite. So I got myself a Habano nub as well. So I'm gonna try that just off their recommendation. And that's what I'm saying about your comments. They don't just go into the internet world and not get read and acknowledged. I do read them and acknowledge them. So look for some videos coming up soon, guys. I'm gonna put some more stuff out for you. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. Let me know what you're drinking, what you're smoking. Leave me a comment. Subscribe if you want to. If you like watching these videos, you like hanging with me, having a smoke, please subscribe. I'm going to finish up this last third, little nub here. And as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will talk to you guys soon.